So the VIP pool brings out 51.84 Ultima tokens, new Ultima tokens into circulation or into existence. And of course, they definitely have to pass through different smart wallets that are held by different people who have invested in the business all around the world. Now, from the first explanation, there's a possibility. In fact, without this green pool, everything that leaves from the smart wallet has a tendency to go directly to the exchange market for it to be exchanged for USDTs. That means there was a possibility for all 51.84 Ultima tokens to get to the market. Even though at that time, when we started with all of this, every transaction was liable to a transaction fee paid in Ultima tokens. And the transaction fee was equivalent to 3% of the amount of Ultima tokens involved. Meaning for you to claim your daily rewards inside your wallet of Ultima tokens, you are liable to a 3% transaction charge. That's 3% of the Ultima tokens, the number of Ultima tokens that you are claiming as your daily rewards inside your wallet. Now, all of those transactional charges, or what we call network charges or network fees, were representing the profit of the company. So all of those transactions represented the profit margin of the company. So the company actually now thought of a possibility of reducing the quantity of Ultima tokens going to the exchange market, meaning you are looking for means to reduce the supply of a particular good from going to the market. You are reducing the supply going to that market against an ever-increasing demand. That definitely means the price of that particular commodity is definitely going to grow. So what is the strategy that the company put in place to slow down the rate or the quantity of Ultima tokens going to this exchange market to be sold for other currencies? That is why the company now brought up what we call the green pool. Now with the green pool, the company now gathered all the network fees, the 3% transactional fees that were gotten from the transactions of these various people through them, claiming their daily rewards inside their wallets or transferring their Ultima tokens from one wallet to another and so on. So they gather that entire quantity, which was representing the transactional fee, and forwarded everything inside this green pool. In other words, the green pool was pre-filled to an extent. So there was a small quantity that actually came from that particular area, meaning that from the area of the transactional fees. So all of those transactional fees were filled inside this green pool. And then the company now said, anybody, because for instance, those who came in later into this VIP pool, let's say somebody joined the VIP pool when they were already 3 million shares bought. Imagine the pool already had 3 million shares. Then somebody who has an amount of money which can only permit the person to own 10 shares, for instance, and the person comes into the VIP pool that already has 3 million shares inside, and the person buys just 10 shares. What amount of profit or daily rewards do you think this person is going to be making out of this pool? The person is going to make absolutely virtually nothing. The person is going to earn virtually nothing. Because the more splits that are found in here, the smaller also will be the fraction that you are going to get also for one share out of these 51.84 new Ultima tokens that are put into existence. So that was why the CEO also now decided to put in place the green pool. And he now said, those who probably missed the opportunity of joining this VIP pool at the beginning, so as to start benefiting from a huge value out of this 51.84, he is now giving them a second opportunity to join the green pool. But that is not to discredit the VIP pool. The VIP pool, of course, is still there, up and running. So for those who still want to belong to the VIP pool, they can go ahead. But for you to make something big, you need to invest big. Means you need to have so many shares. But with this green pool, anybody who subscribes here will have the possibility to benefit from the same 51.84 Ultima token shared every day, which is coming out from here. But before you are a beneficiary of this green pool, you also need to do what? To purchase shares or split contracts inside this pool. Now, when they say you are purchasing split contracts, what does it mean? It means that you have to make use of your Ultima tokens, because you can only purchase the split contracts using what? Ultima tokens. Without Ultima tokens, you cannot purchase any split contract with any of these pools. With any of these pools. So what does that tell you? This simply tells you that these people who are receiving new Ultima tokens, from the VIP pool, having these Ultima tokens in their wallets, some of them will start thinking, say, okay, there's a new pool that has the possibility to give what? To give out 51.84 Ultima tokens every day. And since it's a new pool, or a pool that is just starting, meaning that at this beginning stage, there will be a fewer number of people who will be able to buy shares with this pool, which means the smaller number of shares that this pool is going to register, it will definitely be an advantage to anybody who becomes a shareholder in here, because the person will be able to have a substantial fraction out of this 51.84, because there are a smaller number of shares in here as compared to the total number of shares in the VIP pool. So it therefore means from the smart wallet, some people will decide to take a greater portion of the Ultima tokens they have made out of this VIP pool. They will send them to where? They will send them to this green pool to be able to buy what? Shares inside this green pool. And remember, whenever you send your Ultima tokens into this green pool, because you want to be a shareholder of this green pool, those Ultima tokens will enter into this green pool and will stay frozen in this green pool for the next 50 years. Nothing comes out. So imagine that people who are receiving Ultima tokens in their wallets, they're using the Ultima tokens to buy shares in the green pool. And those Ultima tokens, once they enter the green pool, of course, these people will definitely have the shares. But those Ultima tokens will stay frozen in the green pool for 50 years. None of them will come outside. But this pool is going to be sending out 51.84 Ultima tokens. These 51.84 Ultima tokens, where are they coming from? They are coming from the previous quantity that was pre-filled. In fact, from the quantity that was pre-filled by the company, meaning that quantity that the company had from the transactional charges, the network fees payment that was being done on the VIP pool. So those Ultima tokens that were sent in here, the 51.84 Ultima tokens that are shared every day are coming from that section, from that quantity. But the quantity that has been sent in here by people who are buying shares or buying licenses with this particular pool will stay frozen for 50 years. Nothing goes into circulation. In other words, nothing goes into the market. Now, there are still some people, in the community still, who will receive their own Ultima tokens in their smart wallet and will still say, okay, it is true, we are interested in the green pool, but for now, we also have daily exigencies that we need to take care of with money. Mean they will eventually still take a certain portion out of their own Ultima tokens to the exchange market to sell and make money. Means that no matter what happens with a system like this, instead of 51.84 Ultima tokens per day finding themselves integrally or in totality on the exchange market, some of the Ultima tokens will be diverted and sent to the green pool through the purchase of what? Split contracts. In fact, from split licenses to split contracts. Because people are expressing their intention to benefit again from the distribution of 51.84 Ultima tokens. While a smaller quantity will now proceed to where? To the exchange market. What does that tell you? That the supply to the market has been what? Has been reduced. And when the supply reduces, market forces come in, reduce supply against a fixed demand or an ever-increasing demand. What happens to the price? The price of the Ultima token moves upward. That is the strategy that the company too has put in place to be able to improve on the price of the Ultima token in the market. Now, what we need to take note of, because some people usually get mixed up at this point. Some people think that if this pool is releasing 51.84 Ultima tokens a day, and this other pool is releasing 51.84 Ultima tokens a day, what if everybody in the system decides to take all the Ultima tokens to the market? Meaning that we'll have this first 51.84 Ultima tokens on this exchange market, and this other 51.84 Ultima tokens on this same exchange market. Means that on the exchange market, we'll be having, something around the neighborhood of 103 point something Ultima tokens in a day. Is that it? Anybody who does the analysis this way is certainly somebody who has not understood. It means that the person has not understood it. I advise such a person to go again and start watching this video from the beginning. The only quantity of new Ultima tokens in the system or coming into the system, or where new Ultima tokens come into the system, is from the VIP pool. So this 51.84 Ultima tokens that you see here is here an integral part of this 51.84, which is coming to the market for the first time. So you cannot say that you have 51.84 coming into the market from the VIP pool and another 51.84 coming into the market from the green pool. No. This 51.84 from the green pool came out of the 51.84, which came out of the VIP pool. Meaning that without the supply from the VIP pool, we will never have this one. Neither will we have this one. So this pool is not an independent pool that is bringing new Ultima tokens into circulation. No. The Ultima tokens that are coming out of the green pool definitely are the Ultima tokens that would have been loaded in here through the purchase of what? Split licenses and the split contracts. And like I said, those split licenses and split contracts that we purchase using Ultima tokens, those Ultima tokens will stay frozen in here. They will not come out till after 50 years. Which means that in essence, the quantity that is coming out of this pool is a quantity that was pre-filled by the company. Which came out of where? Which came out of this 51.84 through what? The network fees, the transactional charges. So those transactional charges represented what? An integral part of this 51.84. So is that simple to understand? Is that simple to understand? That was why the company had to allow this VIP pool to be on for several days or several weeks or several months before coming up with what? With the green pool. So that over those number of weeks or months, those transactions that are taking place in this system would have accrued what? Sufficient network fees, which can actually be used and loaded inside this green pool, from where we shall be having this daily release of 51.84 Ultima tokens. It's as simple as that. Now, probably those who did not participate in the VIP pool mean that they are not receiving daily Ultima tokens in their wallets. And so they want to join now the system. Knowing fully where the advantages the green pool has over the VIP pool, they will want to join the green pool directly. So what will happen? They don't have Ultima tokens that they are receiving through the VIP pool because they have never belonged to the VIP pool. And there's no way you can join the green pool without Ultima tokens used to purchase, you know, the split contract or the shares. So you need Ultima tokens. So where are these people going to get these Ultima tokens? That is where they will come to this market now and meet the people who had Ultima tokens in their wallet, who decided not to purchase more shares here or to purchase some shares here and take the rest to the market. So in essence, they'll come and meet people who are selling Ultima tokens in the market, and they'll do what? They will purchase the Ultima tokens from them. That is demand being created. So there's a creation of demand. So the demand for the Ultima tokens will be in such a way that those Ultima tokens will be removed out of that market and sent into the green pool, because these people need to do what? They need to purchase the same split contracts or the same shares. So it therefore means they are removing Ultima tokens from the market. It's like they are creating what? Scarcity of Ultima tokens from the market. So even the quantity of Ultima tokens that we have in the market, people are removing them out of that market. They are taking them outside. So they are cleaning the market. They are cleaning the market of Ultima tokens. Because they want to use those Ultima tokens to do what? To purchase shares in this green pool. So once they remove those Ultima tokens and send into the green pool, those Ultima tokens will stay frozen in that green pool for 50 years. Which means that the only quantity of Ultima tokens that can really be in circulation or in existence is from the control quantity, meaning from the 51.84 release as, in fact, this one is referred to as a subsidiary release. It's a subsidiary 51.84 Ultima token release. Subsidiary because it is a subset of this main quantity. This 51.84 actually represents the new quantity coming for the first time in existence. But these ones are from these ones, means that these ones are the ones that have existed before. So the 51.84 are not new Ultima tokens. They're the ones that have existed before. Of course, they existed before because I said the network fees transaction, it came out from these ones, which came in new. So it's important for us to understand that. Now, what do we realize with this market? That the market, instead of receiving the entire 51.84, part of this 51.84 will be sent to the green pool by people who want to get what? More ultimate, or rather more shares in the green pool, because they are expecting to get higher daily payments as opposed to what they will be getting out of the VIP pool, because the VIP pool already has so many shares inside. So whenever a new pool comes up, the number of people who join that new pool at the beginning, they make so much. As time passes, many people joining that pool, what happens? The quantity of ultimate tokens that they too will be making according to their number of shares starts reducing. It's as simple as that. But everything comes from the tokens that have been existing in the system before. These are the only new tokens that get into the system. These other ones and any other one are tokens that have existed before, means that they constitute an integral part of this one. The reason why we have this second pool is a mechanism to control what? To reduce the quantity of ultimate tokens that are taken to the market every now and then by people, meaning we are cleaning the market of ultimate tokens. That is the first advantage. The second advantage is that it gives the possibility for people who want to join the system now to be able to get directly into this pool and make something substantial, rather than going to the VIP pool, which already has so many shares bought inside. If they get into this particular pool with smaller number of shares, they will not be able to earn anything worthwhile, even though the payment that is received from the VIP pool alongside the one from the green pool is daily and is going to be for 100 years and above. So that is so important for us to understand. Now, the question I have for you is, if this green pool being present here already creates a possibility for a reduction of the total number of ultimate tokens that would have possibly been taken to this exchange market. Let's assume that out of this 100%, without this pool, maybe this entire 100% found itself on this market, means that we had a total of 51.84 ultimate tokens in the market every day. But now, with the existence of this pool, maybe what will go to the market is just 50%. Means we'll have just 50% of these ultimate tokens in this market. That means the supply to the market has reduced. Now, the 50% which is there, what if we look for means to reduce it again by half, by another 50%? Means that we remove 50% out of the 50% itself, which is here. Or out of the 100% which is here. And the 100% which is here now represents 50% of this quantity here. So the more possibilities we get to reduce the quantity of ultimate tokens here, the higher the chances we have to increase the price of the ultimate token. It's as simple as that. That was why the CEO now decided to do what? To come up again with another pool, which is called what? The gold pool. That is where the gold pool comes in. Now, with this gold pool, it is simply to tell us that with a green pool, which is already there, which is already creating what? A reduction of the quantity of ultimate tokens in the market. Meaning that, assuming that, for instance, in this market, we have just 50% of these ultimate tokens inside. That 50% that goes to this exchange market is as a result of the fact that 50% has been consumed or has been absorbed by this green pool. Now, the green pool is equally sending out its own payment daily. People are benefiting from it. And those who benefit from it, they receive the daily payments through what? Through their wallets. So from their wallets, they can now decide to do what? To send again to the exchange market. They can send again to the exchange market. And of course, when it comes to the exchange market, what will happen? The people in the exchange market, of course, they are there because they want to sell for USDTs or to narrow it for their local currencies. But if the quantity coming out to this exchange market increases, there is going to be a challenge also with the price. But make no mistakes to think that what will be coming out of this pool daily, which will go to this exchange market alongside what is coming from here, going to the exchange market, is going to be double, or is going to mean that what the exchange market will be receiving is double what this one would have been sending to the market. No, it will be exactly the same. There is nothing like ×2 of what would have normally been going to the market from here. No. It's just that there is a delay process of the total quantity that comes here. We delay the process or the procedure. In fact, we delay the process of sending a huge quantity of Ultima tokens to this market. So we rather prefer to send the Ultima tokens to the market in little quantities, but over a longer duration. That way we give the market enough time to breathe and stabilize and begin to push the value of the token upward. It's as simple as that. So to further reduce, the quantity of Ultima tokens also that are taken to the market for sales, the company also now decided to bring up a third pool, which is called the gold pool. Now, the reason I'm explaining all of this is for people to understand why we have up to 4 pools. It's not like the fact that we have a particular pool coming now is to say that the pool which has been there before now has to be abandoned, or that the company is abandoning the previous pool. No, they are simply giving you several possibilities for you to get to choose from. So somebody right now can still choose to go to the VIP pool and invest there. Somebody will choose to rather belong to the green pool. Another person would rather choose to belong to the gold pool. So the choice is now yours. Which pool do you feel comfortable to belong to? Because each of these pools have their advantages and shortcomings. Now, let us look at the advantages of the VIP pool. With a VIP pool, it is only advantageous, like I already said earlier on, for somebody who can purchase so many shares, let's say from 1,000 and above. If you can purchase so many shares, then you can expect to get something substantial out of the VIP pool. But if you are an ordinary customer, meaning that you don't have enough money to invest, come to the green pool. Why do I say come to the green pool? Because in the green pool, people who can afford for just 1 share can belong, 2 shares can belong, 3 shares, 10 shares can belong, and they will get something substantial. How do we prove that? Let us go back to the calculator. From the calculator, we'll be able to determine that. Good. No, let me take you back to the calculator. Good. Here is the calculator. Now, we are going to check also in the green pool. We see the number of shares that have been bought inside the green pool as of today. So let me take you to the website. Let's first of all go to the website and check. Let's check to see how many shares or how many split contracts have been bought inside the green pool. I'm going to come back to this drop-down arrow. When I click here, I take the option Unity Split. Unity Split refers to the green pool. It's the same thing. You can see even from the color, it's green. So in this particular pool, look at the total number of shares or the total number of split contracts that have been bought inside. It stands at 439,403, as opposed to the VIP pool where we saw 5,700,000 and something. If you still remember, we had 5,700,000 and something shares inside the VIP pool, which means that there are already too many shares inside. That pool is almost saturated. But look at the green pool. It is just 439,403, which means it is advantageous for somebody to join this pool now, as opposed to somebody who wants to join the VIP pool with so many shares already inside. Now, let us do some calculations here. This is 439,403. 439,403. Let us put it here. 439,403. Now, these are the total number of shares in the system. I've just typed here, and the system is still producing what? 51.84 every day. So 51.84 Ultima tokens released from the green pool every day divided by this total number of shares. It means that 1 share will be attracting 0.000118 Ultima tokens. Now, assuming that this person bought up to 10 shares, if you multiply 10 shares by this fraction, it means the person is actually making this total number of Ultima tokens per day. Assuming that the price of the ultimate token still remains at $6,000, means this person has actually earned what? 7.07870 ultimate tokens per day. Now, if it were to be in the VIP pool where we already have up to 5,700,000 and something, let's just take 5,700,000 for instance, 5,700,000 in that pool, and it's the same thing that the person is going to do. Now, look at for the same number of shares that the person owns with VIP pools, 10 shares again. How much will the person make from that VIP pool? Look at what the person is going to make on the 10 shares that he or she has bought. And assuming that the price remains also at 6,000, it means that this person, as of today, with 10 shares in the VIP pool, would have made just $0.54568. Whereas if he had belonged to this green pool with the same thing, he would have been making what? 7.07870. This is the advantage with every new pool that comes into being. But that does not mean that this other pool is no longer valuable. No, it still remains valuable. But for you to make something substantial from here, you need to invest also higher. You need to have more shares. That is why it is advantageous that for every new pool that comes into being, you have to take action as fast as possible so that you get to participate with other people over a fewer number of shares that will attract for you a greater quantity of ultimate tokens. It's as simple as that. Now, let us go back to our slide. We are back here with the gold pool. So I've already shown you the difference between the VIP pool. Now I said with the VIP pool, you need to invest big to make something substantial out of it. That is so it is only advantageous for investors, not for customers. Now, if you are a customer, it is advantageous for you to belong to the green pool, because from there we have a fewer number of split contracts that have been bought, so you can actually make something substantial, you know, in terms of ultimate tokens per day, and of course, in function of the price of one ultimate token in a day. Now we have the gold pool. With this gold pool, okay, before I go to the gold pool, let me first of all get done with the green pool. The green pool, like I said, actually this green pool was made purposely for those who have, or those who are referred to as customers, means that those who don't have enough money to invest. But that does not mean that if somebody has a huge amount of money, the person cannot invest in the green pool. Of course, the person can also still invest in the green pool. But the green pool cannot really get so many of such investors as was the case with the VIP pool, because a majority of the investors had invested most of their money inside the VIP pool. So they really don't have that much money again to invest also in the same way inside this green pool. Yeah, those who are joining now, they are the people who actually have that possibility to invest whatever it is that they have inside this green pool. That is the reason why the number of split contracts in the green pool is not growing, you know, as fast as it used to be the case with the VIP pool. This one is just at the neighborhood of 500,000, means that we are at 439,000 in the green pool. I mean, the total number of splits bought there, as opposed to 5,700,000 and something with the VIP. The gap is really too big, which means that investing in here is advantageous for somebody who has a small amount of money. Maybe the person wants to get just 1 share, 2 shares, 3 shares, 10 shares as a customer that the person is. So the person can actually appreciate this business belonging to this pool. Now, that is for people who have smaller amounts of money to invest. But again, what of somebody who has a huge amount of money to also invest? If such a person comes to this green pool with a huge amount of money to invest inside the green pool, at some point it might turn out to be disadvantageous also to the local customer here. It will eventually become disadvantageous to him, because the bigger hands have come again, you know, to increase the total number of split contracts in the system, which will eventually become disadvantageous to this customer. So the CEO understood that, and he decided to come up with what? With the gold pool. Now, what is so particular about the gold pool, or what is peculiar with the gold pool? Now, this gold pool is strictly meant for people who have huge amounts of money to invest. Meaning that if somebody has a huge amount of money to invest, instead of going to the green pool, even with the advantages we know with the green pool, the person will rather choose to belong to the gold pool because the gold pool has also the same advantages as the green pool, if not more than the advantages that the green pool has. But to belong to the gold pool, you must be somebody who is ready to invest big. This gold pool is not meant for customers. If you're a customer, you cannot belong to the gold pool. So what does that tell you? That the CEO technically has reserved those who have smaller amounts of money or who can afford for just a little amount of money to belong to stay inside this green pool and make substantial amount of money for themselves according to the smaller number of shares that they can afford for, while the bigger hands who have a lot of money will be able to stay inside the gold pool and invest their huge resources inside, and they will be able to make the money that they would have normally been making had it been they joined this green pool. So you see that these two pools are actually meant for these two categories of persons. Those who can invest little and those who can invest huge. So much so that the common man or the customer should be in his own area or in his own world alone without feeling threatened by somebody who has so much wealth than him, who can invest more than him. And the two parties can actually earn serious money, in fact, huge amounts of money in their respective categories. It's as simple as that. Now, the smallest amount of money that somebody needs to get started with in the green pool is 110 euros. While the smallest amount of money that somebody needs to get started with this gold pool is 2,200 euros. So the question is, how many people can actually afford for 2,200 euros to get started with the gold pool? Unlike 110 euros that people can get started with inside the green pool. So you see that the green pool is actually for the common man. While those who really want to invest big, because it will be very senseless and very disadvantageous for somebody who has something as huge as 2,200 euros. Instead of putting inside the gold pool, the person is taking it to the green pool. Why do I say so? Let us go back to the calculator. You understand why I'm saying so. Now, I'm taking you one more time to the calculator. Where are we? Okay, here is the calculator. Now, let's bring this one down to 0 and this one to 0. So what am I trying to say in essence? What I'm trying to say here in essence is the gold pool is starting, as a matter of fact, to belong to the gold pool is already possible. If you really want to be a member of the gold pool, you can do that as of now. But the payout from the gold pool is going to start from the month of March 2024, which is in a couple of weeks from now. So in a couple of weeks, we will start receiving payouts, meaning the normal 51 point, something ultimate tokens that will be coming out of the gold pool also. We are going to start having that from the month of March. But now what you need to understand here is the fact that the minimum amount of money that you need to get started with inside the gold pool is 2,200 euros. You realize that 2,200 euros is a very huge amount of money. Not so many people will be able to afford for it. Now I'm doing this analysis so that those who really want to make a lot of money with this system, the gold pool should be your target. Don't miss a gold pool. Why? It's from this analysis that I'm making. Please follow closely, follow attentively. Now, since the smallest amount of money that somebody will need to get started with the gold pool is 2,200 euros, that definitely tells you that technically it has eliminated so many people naturally from joining this gold pool, which means the number of shares that will be inside the gold pool will be very small at the beginning. Even the rate at which those shares will be growing or new shares will be bought in the system will be very, very slow as compared to the rate at which new shares are being bought inside the green pool. Now, let me take a practical example. Assuming that at the beginning, when the payment starts, when the payment begins, we have just say 5,000. This one is just an arbitrary value that I'm taking. Let's say we have just 5,000 shares that have been bought in the system, let's say within the first month. If you put 5,000 there, and then every day the daily release is what? 51.84. Note that 51.84 divided by 5,000 shares. It means that one share will be able to attract what? 0.010. Assuming that this person, let's even assume that the person has only one share. Because when you spend that much, if you spend 2,200 euros, 2,200 euros gives you only one share inside the gold pool. So if you want one share, you need to spend 2,200 euros. And that 2,200 euros contains your purchase of the license and the purchase of the split contract. So the two purchases are done simultaneously. That is why the price is up to 2,200. So if you can spend that much, you have just one share. But now, since the number of shares that are bought in the system is this small, because of the huge amounts involved, not everybody can afford for. So if we assume that only 5,000 shares have been purchased, and you are a lucky member of, the number of people who have been able to purchase, these shares, and you have just one out of these 5,000 shares, it therefore means that as of today, you would have made 0.010368. Assuming that the price of one Ultima token in the market remains at 6,000, then if you multiply this, it means that as of today, how much have you made? $62.20. You just made for yourself $62.20. If you multiply by this, that gives you around about 40,435 francs CFA. You can also multiply by the exchange rate of your currency in your own nation to see what it represents. This one is just an arbitrary value. What if at the beginnings, we don't even have up to 5,000? Let's even assume that at the beginning we have just 2,000. Because even to get that 2,000 will also not be easy. But let's just be contented with this. If, let's say at the beginning we have just 2,000, 51.84 divided by 2,000, this is the fraction you've gotten. If you have just one share, means you have this quantity. Multiply by 6,000, means that in one day you have just made 155.52. Multiply by this, you also see the amount that will represent for you in your own currency. Now here, this person has made 101,088. This is remarkable. This is huge. Which means if the price at this point grows even higher, then what you are making also in a day is higher. Now imagine that this person has made 155.52 in one day. Meaning that in 10 days, assuming that it remains just around this quantity, 2,000, in 10 days, multiply this one by 10, means this person would have made $1,550 in just 10 days. Meaning that in 20 days, this person would have made close to 3,000 and something dollars in 20 days. Meaning that in 30 days, meaning that in 1 month, this person should be very close to, in fact, almost close to $5,000 that the person would have made after investing how many dollars with just one share. So that is how you are supposed to do the calculation. You are supposed to reason this thing out from that perspective. So at the beginning like this, with fewer shares, if you are able to get just one share, you earn something big at the beginning. Very, very big. That is the advantage of the gold pool, which you must not lose sight of. And then if you even choose not to sell or to convert it to your local currency, carry this Ultima token that you are being paid. Go back to the green pool, assuming that you have bought shares in the green pool. Load the shares with these Ultima tokens you are making out of the gold pool. Use them to load your VIP pool or the green pool. Or you use it to buy more shares for yourself, still again inside the gold pool. So there are several ways in which you can make use of what you are making out of the gold pool. What if you are earning something out of the VIP pool, the green pool, and of course the gold pool simultaneously? This is absolutely huge. Remember, the company is still developing more products and